Hello and welcome to the Knitting Diaries, because I still live with my parents, so puzzles are a little harder to get done these days. But I did buy a new one as a birthday present to myself. Happy birthday to me today. I think I actually found a Knitting Diaries last year on my birthday too, so I need to check, but I'm pretty sure. So maybe this is a new tradition. I don't know. We'll see. Next year, I guess. My parents are out of the house for the moment. I still live with them. I haven't found a new place. There are a couple of places I'm actually going to look more into, so maybe, please keep your fingers crossed. I'm dying to get out of here. So, now let's focus on today's topic, which is knitting. And a little bit of something else. Unfortunately, as I said, not puzzle. I did buy myself a puzzle as a birthday present. Wow, speaking hard. But you will get to see that some other time. So that's going to be a fun time too. Finally a new puzzle. But I also did some knitting, and I've tried showing you tags, and it's just like I never managed to get it right so you can actually see what's on them. So instead of doing that, you could just look up the yarn. I'm gonna write which yarn I've used down in the description box. So the first item of the day, the yarn is Drops Merino Extra Fine. So the tag, not even gonna bother showing you. And it looks a little wonky when I do it like this. That's also because I'm supposed to like fold it up so it looks more like a proper hat. Though hats always look weird when they're not on someone's head. And no, I will not put it on and take it off to show you, because apparently I went, and I'm pulling off hair because my hair is everywhere. I went from knitting, I don't know, a lot of wrist warmers to apparently being hat obsessed, which is kind of weird. I don't wear much hats, so in the last Knitting Diaries I showed you 3 hats, and I have made more since then because that's what I have yarn for. So this one is light gray. I knitted it, and yes, I have my little notes because I do not remember everything. I don't think it's possible. This is knitted top down. I think I had started last Knitting Diaries, and it got like real wonky on top, but this one, it's better. It's a lot better. It's more flat and even and way prettier. And I started with the, what's it called? Crochet pinhole cast on. And honestly, I very much enjoy that cast on when you start from the top. And it's mostly all stockinette and then 1x1 ribbing that I fold up. I haven't blocked anything, but I hope that when I do block it, I'll be able to fold it up so you don't see the edge here, but I don't know. It's actually one of the hats I might keep for myself, depending a little bit on where I move and if someone would like to buy it. But yeah, I actually didn't hate trying this on. I'm not a fan of hats, so me not hating to try it on means that it's a good one. I didn't have a pattern, so I kind of made one myself. I will try to write it up as a pattern because I really like it. And after I did this top down, I thought, well, from what I can tell, a lot of hat patterns are written bottom up. But I like the cast on and then grow it bigger, and I honestly think I do a better job increasing than decreasing, because the next one I did was basically the exact same hat with the exact same yarn, but this one I did bottom up. And I don't know if I'll be able to show you properly, but honestly, this is the top down, this is the bottom up. This looks better. The crown of the one that I did, at least, top down, the crown looks better. than the bottom up. So I know which my favorite method to knit a hat is. It's top down. But I wanted to try, and they look so weird. Look like a mushroom. And you probably can hear my computer in the background. It's gonna shut up soon, I hope. But hold on, I have to sneeze. And we're back. But it still gets this little weird edge where you can see the stockinette, which is obviously pearl when I fold it up. But yeah. No, the one when I do top down looks better in my opinion. But I really do want to make this into a pattern. So and that's the reason I did this one bottom up too, because like I want to, because a lot of hats are knitted bottom up, I wanted to make a pattern that you can do both ways. And it's like a super simple thing, but I kind of enjoyed writing my first pattern, so why not try some more? So those were the first two hats I knitted. And I obviously, things are going on. So the first hat, the top down, and I mean, I was kind of like writing the pattern in a messy way. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, I had struggles. But the top down, I spent like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 days knitting, because I had to like fix the crown so it got nice. And then, oh, that's the one I undid. And then the one of them that I did, the bottom up, I only spent 1, 2, 3, 4 days on. So 1 day less. But, you know, things are going on. Right now it's Easter and there has been a family here and it's been moving to rooms and it's a lot. But when I was done with those two, I was like, okay, I don't have more of that yarn, but I did figure out that I had some other yarn. It's somewhat older. It's the Falk. It's a super wash. It's 100% wool. And it does have a cute tag. Very cute tag. But, you know. Also, I didn't try it on. My mom tried it on. She liked it. So I'm considering maybe she will get it. But she also liked the next one I made. So, you know. This is my first time trying helical knitting. And I started it in the bottom and knitted up. Right? Yeah. The reason for that was I didn't know how to do like helical knitting at all, so I figured it'd probably be easier to start from the bottom when I had more stitches and could play around with it more. And I think I did a pretty good job. Even the crown. I mean, look at that crown with helical knitting. It's really cool. I hadn't tried helical knitting before. I didn't really know it. But I did a lot of it the same as I did the gray hats. And this one, I spent a total of 2 days knitting. It was super fast. So fast. And so enjoyable. I've come to realize I like helical knitting. I don't know how well it would be on a sweater. But I mean, I like bigger objects too, not just hats. And this looks small, but it fit my mom's head perfectly. Do I have a picture of it? No. I don't know if she would be okay being online. So that's the thing. But I think I did a pretty good job with it. Both the helical knitting and the crown and all of it. And it's a nice yarn. Not expensive, but nice. And it was very enjoyable to work with. I have to say, this might be one of my favorite yarns. Though it is very stretchy. So if you want something that like sticks, it's, yeah, maybe not this one. And then, oh, I'll show you something else by the end. But I did something. Apparently I like trying new things these days. So I had a little bit of cotton yarn left and I had an idea, because I've heard that there are quite a bit of microplastics in the shower gels and stuff like that, but they're, from my understanding, I don't know if I'm correct or not, but you know, you never know. From my understanding, a lot of bars of soap don't have as much microplastics, or maybe no microplastics. So I was like, okay. But you know, if you have a bar of soap and you're in the shower, it just flip-flops everywhere, and all of a sudden it's on the other side of the room, and then it's a mess. So I was thinking, okay, so if I want to start using bars of soap instead of the shower gel, because potential microplastics, I wanna be kind to nature. I was like, okay, I need something to have the soap in, so it doesn't like fly all over the room. So if I do a little something, so I can put the soap in and tie it up somehow, and this is just a trial project, I don't think this is big enough. On the other hand, the bars of soap, they come in so many different sizes and shapes and all, but yeah, this is for a square one. And I did something called Tunisian crochet, and oh, I don't know where the string is. I tried like, oh, I hold on, I have to bring it. Give me a sec. All right, so I wanted something, I mean, I did this, and for not helical knitting, that was the last one. But for Tunisian crochet, you need really, really long, okay, you don't need a really long, but it's easier. Basically, a really long crochet hook. This is a 3mm one. I don't know if you can see it or not. And yes, I started a blue one because I thought this one was too little. And I've also done another with this color. I mean, I fold it up and then I do it together. But I need something to like string it up so I can close it, but also open it to put a new bar of soap in. So I tried a little crochet thing here. I have no idea how well you can see it. That's always an interesting thing. But to make a string, I found a video. I mean, there are tons of videos on YouTube. And I found one that like, oh, you can knit basically in a round and make a string. Or, I don't know the other English word. Anyway, and you can knit an I-cord. And I was like, oh, that sounds perfect. I'm going to try that. It turned out really ugly. I did not manage to keep my stitches even, so it was like all the different stitch sizes. It was a mess. But then I remembered something that I was playing with when I was a kid. And the one I have now, yeah, it was a thing because I made this one. And how well can you tell? It's like close to my hand. But it's basically an I-cord, but not knitted on knitting needles. When I was a kid, we had these, I loved playing with yarn even then. I mean, that should have been an indication. But we had trådsnälla. Oh, I don't know that word in English. But, you know the little plastic thingy that you have yarn on? I have no idea what that word is in English. Anyway, it looks a little like this, and there's usually yarn, and this is the thing that my dad had in the basement, and he made it, and there's nails? Screws are the ones you screw in. These are the ones you just hammer in. I think they're called just nails. Oh dear, a lot of English words I do not know. Anyway, you use this, and you use a thingy to like put the yarn over to make basically an I-cord. Luckily for me, my dad had this one in the basement. If not, he would have made it because he really figured out, he understood what I meant. It's like, Dad, do you remember the thingy that we used to make like long lines on with yarn when I was a kid? And he was like, I think I have one of those in the basement. And I did. So I can now make I-cords without actually knitting them with knitting needles, but instead using tools. Homemade ones at that. So the point is to like put the string in here so I can tie it up for the bar soap. So I've been working on that. I'm not entirely happy with how it looks, so I need to figure something out. But it was a very pleasant thing to do, the Tunisian crochet. Haven't tried that before, so definitely new. I've definitely made strings before. I don't know, I made so many of these strings when I was a kid. Don't ask me what happened to them because I do not know. But then I got a little bit of yarn from my mom. She, because I didn't threaten, I just expressed my frustration with not having access to all my yarn, and also the frustration of having like a half a ball of yarn of this and then random scraps I don't know what is of other things. So basically said that, oh my god, I'm going nuts and I need to have something to keep my hands busy, because if not, everyone will go nuts around me and that would not be a good idea. So I considered out loud maybe going to a yarn store or two and buy some new yarn. Yes, I know I shouldn't. I have yarn, but it's packed in boxes. I don't know where they are. So I said that out loud, like thinking out loud. It's like maybe I simply just need to go buy some yarn. And my mom said, I have some yarn. Please don't bring more stuff into the house. And I was like, well, do you want me to go nuts? And she's like, give me a day or two. And then she found some old yarn that she had, the Freestyle. Yeah, not showing you the tag, won't work anyway. It's a cute tag though. Look at the puffin. I think that's what they're called in English. Anyway, it is, and I got 4 balls of yarn of this from my mom. It's a red yarn. So I made a hat. It's I love it. I love it. Do you see the pattern? Can you see the pattern? It's one type of cable here and then other type of cable here. The thing is, also, it looks really weird on top, the crown. I need like, I think I need to make a puff ball or something. That's probably not what it's called, but you know, the fluffy things that you make a round thing off on top of a hat. You get what I mean, right? Because as is, it looks a little weird. The thing is though, I finished it, I wove in all the ends, and then my mom tried it on. I'm very happy she did, and said, it's a little snug, or not, it wasn't tight, but it was a little short. It didn't really cover the ears. But this took less than 2 balls of yarn, and I knitted it from the bottom up because I had no idea how the crown would be. So instead of ripping this one out immediately, I just, and I'm not fully finished, I just started a new hat instead. And you can see they're very different. It looks really weird when they're just like this, and also obviously not blocked. I'm not even done. This is gonna be almost done. Can you see? Hello. But I think this is gonna be a lot better. So I expanded, is that the right word? Anyway, I made the ribbing a little longer and I knitted a bit longer before I started the decreases. And these are obviously done bottom up, because how the heck would you make a pattern from the crown, from top down on this one when you don't even know exactly what they're gonna look like? And there's a little change here, because here I did only, how do I show it? You can see the ones that are in are the purl stitches and these are the knit stitches. So you can tell that crown, and you can tell from here, I guess. I have no idea how it's gonna, and I probably should have finished this one earlier, but, or before I film, but this is gonna have a little bit more of the purl stitches, so the knit stitches or the stockinette won't be as much. So yeah, And by the next Knitting Diaries, I'll probably have ripped this one out and knitted it again, so that's the only time you'll get to see that. But this one, I feel it's gonna fit better because it's longer. So yeah, are you about to cut me off? Hold on. You were about to cut me off. But that was kind of what I had to show you today. So I've been knitting 4 finished hats. One I'm gonna rip out again. Almost done with the 5th hat. And, you know, I already had 3. So with the 3 that I already had and the new 3, I have 6, 7, 8. I'm starting to realize that hats are my new thing. Will I go back to wrist warmers? Probably. I do have like a ball out 2 of yarn I could probably use for that. So, you know, I will continue my foray into stash busting and using the yarn I have and working my ass off to not go buy new yarn, but also find a house so I can move and get access to all my stuff. That would have been amazing. And I will soon show you my new puzzle. Not sure how that's gonna go. It's a pretty puzzle. I'm very excited. And it was really cheap, so. And brand new. I'm so excited. But anyway, yeah. I love my knitting. Can you tell? And also the idea of like making patterns and trying new stuff. I love it. I simply love it. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have a good day. Do some knitting, plant some seeds, grow something green, and do some puzzles. Basically, do things you enjoy that makes you happy with your life. I would probably be even more happy if I could find a house. Then you're probably sick of hearing it if you've watched any of my videos. Anyway, I'm gonna look into more houses, see if I can buy one. A part of me is like, I'm gonna be so excited to share it with you when I finally do buy a house. So, yeah, I'm gonna finish one hat, rip out another, do a little bit of puzzle, have some more family time during Easter, and maybe get to do my new puzzle. I hope you have enjoyed this. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!